Hi, it's Yogi Cameron here, and today I want to speak to you about how the holidays add anxiety to your life. It's a funny thing because everybody wants to be chilled out, having a good time, and it's the holidays, right? But it inevitably brings a lot of stress for people and anxious feelings because there's a lot going on. And not everybody does well when there's a lot going on. It kind of adds more stress. So some of the things you got to look out for is, number one is, am I overdoing it? Overdoing it means there's this imaginary line or boundary, and am I stepping out of it? Am I stepping into another realm here and taking on a lot more? So for example, how much am I being asked to do by somebody to, add to the holidays? Do I tend to take on a lot because I don't want to say no? Are you that person? Or are you the person who just says yes to everything and then later on thinks, oh my God, what have I done? Who are you, right? Or are you just somebody who just says, no, I don't want to do anything, and then later on regrets it because they did actually want to do something. So know who you are, how much do you take on, and are you overloading with things? Because that imaginary boundary is there, so hey, when I cross that line, I don't tend to do well. So I won't cross that line. I can still do things, I can still get things done, but that line I don't need to cross. So that's the first thing, overdoing things. And then it's, am I around too many people? Do I do well around a lot of people? You have to think about that. Sometimes we think, well, it's going to be fun, it's going to be great, I did it before. But if in our memory we know, hey, you know what, actually I didn't have so much fun and I didn't do great. And you have to see, am I attending, one too many things? Because you might be great in a group at certain functions and you don't do well in a group in other functions. So that's the second thing. How am I around a lot of people? So if I'm not great, I'll minimize it. If I'm fine, then I'll do more of it. But still, everybody has a boundary and a line. Where is it for you? And am I being overloaded with stimulation? That's pretty much the third thing. Because all of us can handle a certain amount of stimulation. But again, I know where my line is, for example. I don't want to be in a room for too long with a lot of loud music and a lot of loud people, because it becomes an overload. So I can stay there and I can take it, but what's the point, right? So what I do is I remove myself if I have to be there at some point where I know, hey, I'm reaching my limit down the road. You have to do the same thing. So first, am I overdoing things? Are there too many people around? And am I getting myself into a situation where there's an overload of stimulation? Answer those three questions and then go out and do just about enough to have a great time, but don't go overboard where then you regret it and you think, hey, what did I do all that for? Anyway, have a beautiful time. Namaste.